Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, my lovely Laura McReynolds, and my practically perfect Penny Up and Center here. They're back! The gang's all back.
Together.
It's wonderful.
Greatest day ever.
It is the greatest day ever.
I mean, it's been kind of fun because, I've still been here, but I'm here every time, but it's okay. Not good enough, I guess.
Well, I mean...
So Penny and Laura are here. Oh, boy. Yay.
Hey, I popped in last week, and you all had it so under control.
Hey, man.
That's funny. I popped in and left.
I did too.
Did you leave?
Guess what? I popped in and stayed. Oh, boy. But Laura and Penny are back. Oh, God, yes. Happy us.
Well,
don't we
are you
love him?
feeling fragile this morning?
No, I wanted to throw that out there that, again, I am very happy, just as you are, Kate, to have both of our lovely ladies back, but
You're right.
I just want to throw it out there. I've been here the whole time.
I'm going to have
Pretty
to
nice
give
guy,
it.
I don't know. It's
I-
fine.
Okay.
Whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to the show, Ryan Muma, will you please accept my sincerest apologies that I have not given you proper accolades for
Adoration.
Adoration. Although, wait a
Should we all
second
stand
here.
up and bow?
Although, wait a second.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Hold on. Back it up.
Okay.
Back it up here. There is one key difference about you being here.
Oh,
Do you know what that key difference
I
is?
do.
I don't actually. I just love doing the show.
Yeah, you
what
do
else?
love doing the show, and you are a Downcountry board member. However, who is your employer?
Oh, let me see. Hold on. It starts with a W.
Yeah, it would be
Ends with an M.
WGEM,
That's right. 2 letters in between.
Sports Radio 105.1, of which, like, that would be, YOU.
That's true, yeah.
And so, technically,
Yeah, that's
while
true.
Laura is here for this lovely hour donating of her own free will and time,
Oh.
I'm here almost every week, donating of my own free time. Penny is sacrificing time with the grands to be here. I mean, sacrificing. Hey, my understanding is the whole grand scene is very different from the parenting scene. It's
A little
like
different, I believe it.
all the joy and none of the guilt. So, anyway, kind of like,
There's a lot of that.
So basically, you're saying like I have to be here.
you do
A
have to
little
be
bit,
here.
sort of, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey, but we do
However,
appreciate you being here. Yes.
However, we do appreciate you being here, and we are very thankful for you. Now, having said that, what are we all thankful for this week? Because there should be something on August 1st. Don't you like this little hint?
Uh-oh.
Little hint.
August 1st.
Yeah.
On August 1st.
It's a car show.
That is a car show.
Oh.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, you're two that just
So-
happened to show up today. Didn't know what you were talking about.
Ryan is on
Oh,
it.
it's
Not
fine,
only is he
whatever.
here every week, he must listen.
Gotta pay attention to everything. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, in their defense, they have not been here, so they probably were unaware.
Okay.
But on August 1st, you guys, this is super cool. So beginning at 4 p.m., you can have your car there at 3 p.m. or whatever. It's a Goodwill donation to entry fee to put your car in. There will be prizes. There will be awards, all of those different things. It's at Niemanns on the right there on 520 North 24th Street, Quincy. It will go from 5 until 7. It's Niemanns Food, Refreshment Services, Pepsi, and they're doing it for Downcountry. There's going to be food for Goodwill donation, drinks for Goodwill donations. Car enthusiasts are invited to register their vehicles day of the event. You don't even have to pre-register. No pre-registration required. A Goodwill donation is all that's required to actually stick your car in, and they're going to have prizes and everything else. It's going to be so much fun. We did this last year in Hannibal.
Yeah.
And so they decided to move it both sides of the river, so, equal opportunity.
Nice.
But guys, this is a really big deal for us. And so if you are listening and you have a car, a Jeep, a vehicle that you want to show off, please bring it August 1st and enter it for a Goodwill donation. and come and meet, and we'll be there and we'll be having fun. Laura normally parks the cars at these events.
Well, I just sort of say, so last year, all I did was like wave people in and say, this is the row that you need to be parking in. And then we moved to the next row, whatever. But yeah, it was kind of fun.
I bet.
It was kind of fun okay, so they like drive up or whatever. They heard about it. Maybe they're part of a car club. Maybe they just saw a flyer or whatever. Because like you said, you can register the day of. So people hadn't pre-registered and didn't really know what to expect. But there was a little bit of everything there, and it was really pretty cool.
It was so
and
fun.
the people driving the cars, they're excited. And they're excited to show off their car, which is really cool.
Well,
Right.
and it was so neat too, because the nice thing about basically any of our events, and when it's this Goodwill donation dinner, it was fun to see families come with their kids. It's a very kid-friendly event, and they got their food, and I mean, they always it's really good food, and there's no charge for it. And then they had like raffles and things that you could put in for,
giveaways.
little giveaways, and then they did have the prizes. So it really is fun. And so if you listen to the show and you can pop in for a little bit or the whole time, on August 1st, we're going to be right here at Niemanns Foods doing the cruising for down country, grilling and chilling on August 1st. And so
Is that the second annual? Is that right?
this is the second time
and,
we've done it. Yeah.
And can you? I thought there was some neat story as to how that developed. Wasn't it a bunch of young men who wanted to do this? Is that the right?
No,
event?
that's the truck show. That was the truck show.
Oh, there's
You're
a truck
thinking.
show, too. Oh,
Well, that
there was
was-
a truck show.
The young men, unfortunately, who put on the truck show, they moved away. So
That's
there's
what
no
I thought. I didn't know how
truck
this-
show.
They're not
Well,
young
then
men
somebody
anymore.
stepped in with a car show.
That's exactly what happened.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what happened.
Okay,
Because they did the car show in the fall, and then the kids moved who'd done the truck show, and then Matt's like, "Hey, I've got this idea," and I'm like, "Well, I'm never going to turn you down when you're helping me raise money because I'm tired." And guys, just so you know, if you're listening to the show, the costs have doubled. I mean, like doubled. So we are doing drives right now. It's $17. Trying to get people to donate, or $21. It doesn't have to be a lot, but if a lot of you donate a little, then it really does help. And I mean, guys, we've supplied 90 iPads right now. Today that this show is going to air, I'm in Dallas, Texas, with 115
Bang.
people from the
Amazing.
tri-states
Wow.
that are. They're at Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group, learning the best ways to treat. They're learning about the Project Echo and all those different things. They're learning the educational techniques. They're learning behavioral techniques. They're learning social emotional. I mean, like, they're learning educational techniques. There's so much. I mean, if I could transport every person in the tri-states to this conference one time, I would do so happily, because I do believe it will forever alter your opinion on how you view people, not just with Down syndrome, but with disabilities as a whole.
Yeah.
I believe I have yet to take anybody who hasn't said it transformed their life. Now, and having said that, that segues into where are we on time on this first segment? Because if so, I'm gonna dive in.
You got about halfway.
Okay. All right. Well, then in that case,
Take a dive.
It was really cool. So I had a memory pop up literally this morning, and
Really?
this morning.
On Facebook, you had a memory pop.
Yeah, I had a memory pop up, and weirdly, it was a post I did all the way back in 2014 on Mother's Day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, so a long time ago. What is that? 11 years.
Yeah.
But I want to read it to you because I something else happened this week, and we can kind of talk about it, because I think it's important, and it kind of explains why what we do is so important. It says, "Dear friends, Mother's Day is this weekend, and I'd like to share a story. Sometimes I watch my children." Oh, by the way, I did, when I reshared this on my page today, I said this is still 100% true. It's still true. They're teenagers and adults. It's still true. I still do this. And I know Penny's doing it with her grands, and I know Laura does. We all do it. Okay, anyway, dear friends, Mother's Day is this weekend, and I'd like to share a story. Sometimes I watch my children. Simply watch them. And I stand in awe of the absolute joy with which they attack their day. I find it inspiring, and it fills my heart with hope for the future. What a beautiful world it would be if we all approached our days with the hope and joy of a child. Anyway, after I dropped Ms. Ella off to Ms. Barb for a play day, I was watching Mr. Elliot hang up his things and being such a big boy, smiling to myself when a wonderful said, this is paraphrased, He's doing so well. It must make you so proud to watch him and know all the hard work is paying off. I'm sure it sometimes must get discouraging. And it kind of surprised me. I'd never thought about how it might sometimes look to others, how raising up Elliot might appear. He does look a little different, and he does learn a little different. Uber cute, but different. So it got me thinking what a great opportunity it was, especially since it's Mother's Day weekend, to try and explain. No, absolutely not. Elliot does not discourage me. When he was born, we had both good doctors and bad doctors. Doctors who said, congratulations, you have a beautiful baby boy. And doctors who said, your child will be lethargic and never amount to anything. Every day of your life will be a challenge. Good luck. True story. And honestly, Tony had that particular doctor thrown of the NICU. Anyway, the point is this. Raising Mr. Elliot is not any more discouraging or challenging than raising Olivia or Ella. Discouragement comes not from Elliot or the medical diagnosis he wears on his face, but from the unfortunate misconceptions, preconceptions, and stereotypes surrounding kiddos who learn differently. This is why education, exposure, and increasing positive awareness is so important. Elliot is exactly Elliot, as is Olivia, and as is Ella. Issues for our kiddos come not from the kiddos themselves, or actually even other children, but from the foggy lenses we, as grown-ups, put on instead of viewing the world through the rose-colored lenses of a child. So this weekend, hug your family and remember you are a mom first, blessed beyond measure, and with a daily window of inspiration to view the world through the eyes of a child. Happy Mother's Day. Anyway, I really like myself 10 years ago. That wasn't bad. I mean, like, who was I? Like, however, it's 11 years later, and that's still freaking true. And I still will, that is, if, you know how they always talk about mountains and molehills and like, what are you going to die on? Yeah. I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. Like, you cannot take this away from me. Children are the greatest joy, the greatest gift. And it doesn't matter whether they're 3 like Ryan's or they're freaking 23 or if they're 33 or 83. They're still your kids.
Yes.
And they are the greatest gift God gives us. So
I want to say this real quick, just based upon what you said. I agree with you 11 years ago with what you said. But just like in general, I think, because I do it all the time. Me and the wife do all the time. We sit back and we watch the twins kind of go through life and do their thing and whatnot. And there are moments that you feel discouraged, but not. Well,
that's a normal part of parenting.
That's what I'm saying. So I wanted to kind of bring that up too, because again, we're, they call it the terrible threes and all that stuff, and there are a lot of
you wait till you hit the terrible 13 and 23. Good.
No, I'm going to be honest. I think my 20s. Kids are. I think they're 3 going on 13 is what it feels like at times. But regardless, there are times where I'm just like, what am I doing? Like they're not listening, or they're not doing this, or not doing that. What am I doing? Why did I'm doing this wrong? Am I doing this? Same thing. The wife's the same way. And then you take a step back and you just watch them be siblings and you watch them be carefree and super sweet and all that stuff. And you're reminded, like, no, you're doing just fine.
Yeah.
And then when you have other people that will say, gosh, your girls are the sweetest and are very well behaved and are this, that, and the other. And then, of course, you make the joke like, oh, great, they're behaved for you. But in general, that I feel like, and we're going to go to a quick break, but I want to throw this out there to parents. I've been of the belief that if your kids are good for, like if I handed my kids over to any one of you 3 and they listened to you and were very behaved and they did everything they needed to do, I'm doing good as a parent.
Amen.
Because with me, they're more comfortable with me. So they're not going to listen to mom and dad.
They're going to push your buttons.
They're not going to do this. They're going to see what they can get away with. But if I can hand them over to Kate, Penny, Laura, and they can do anything and everything you ask them to do, and they're very well-mannered and behaved, you are doing everything right as a parent, period.
Good job.
All right, we're going to go to break. Right. And when we come back, though, we're going to have a couple little discussions about some of the things you said. And they're going to be called advice from the old lady. Okay. Anyway, for now, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the Practically Perfect Penny, and the lovely Laura. And we're going to dive right in today because Ryan just likes to open up all kinds of little bags of worms. But before we do so, August 1st, car show, Niemanns Foods, refreshment services, Pepsi, 4 p.m., Goodwill. Do not need to pre-register. It's a Goodwill donation to enter your car. Free food. Well, Goodwill donation food, Goodwill donation drink, raffles, prizes, all the things. Okay. Tell your friends. Be there or be square. Got it?
What time?
Got it.
And which Niemann Food location?
The one on 24th.
4 p.m.
And 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Well, you are really a good listener.
Okay. So, now, okay, there were two
I knew the
things.
answers to that.
Okay.
I wasn't sure that it had gotten out there.
All right.
Way to open that up. Good job, Laura.
Okay. There are two things that Ryan said that I want to address the first.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So here's what I'm going to say. You were correct on the first one. Discouragement is a normal part of parenting.
Yeah.
However, the older I get, I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to disability-related matters, there are different philosophies, and there are some very dangerous stereotypes, preconceptions that adjust how people view people with disabilities. And that would be a difference between typical and not. And a friend of mine this week, so she has one daughter with Down syndrome, and she has one that does not. And they're about Elliot and Ella's difference apart, so approximately 2 years. So they are BFFs, right? Okay. So she and her neurotypical daughter are shopping, and the radio's playing on the overhead in the store. Woman, I went home, closed all the curtains, and went to my room and mourned for 2 days. Host of the radio show. Having a child born with a disability is the most heartbreaking thing that can happen to a parent. My friend, the mom, as she's like in the middle of the store, like looking up at the speaker,
what kind
like,
of a show is this on?
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And then she and her daughter stopped shopping, and they're like just literally staring at the ceiling like, where is this junk coming from? And the woman said, after 2 days, I came out of my room, and I went and picked up my son out of his crib and told him I could love him. I prayed hard and heard I could do this.
Right.
Okay, if you're not watching the show right now and you're just listening to the show, all three of us just snapped our head and bubbled our eyes like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah, it's a very, anyway, she and her daughter like, okay, we're getting out of this store now. It's time to leave. And her daughter, the sibling,
and how old is the daughter? About?
She's about 11, 13,
Okay.
12, in that.
Yeah.
And said it's probably time to leave. I think there are probably more heartbreaking things that could happen, like stubbing your toe and having the nail fall off sounds pretty horrible. Having a child with Down syndrome shouldn't even rank up there. Anyway, and so her point was, don't perpetuate this stigma of disability. And so, and again, for everybody who wants to say that kind of stuff doesn't happen, and again, this is why we do this show, right? So there is this cool couple, and they have they share their life it's called Squirmy and Grubs. And Squirmy and Grubs, have you heard this? Okay, so anyway, they share basically their life. He is a person with a disability. He is a quadriplegic. Anyway, there's a silly video going that's viral, and it should be cause for celebration. They posted one that's going viral. And he's like, but it's forcing me to confront the painful fact that literally of hundreds of thousands of people hate me and think I'm worthless because of my disability. You guys can say, what? Wow. What are you talking about? Yeah. That's not true, right?
Hate.
The video is quite simple. The trend that's going around is people posting funny clips of themselves failing miserably at sports with an ironic caption that announces they didn't qualify for the Olympics this year. It's kind of self-deprecating humor. It's right up our alley. Yeah. So we joined the trend and posted a quick video of me diving into a pool. Except my dive is obviously just Hannah gently lowering me into the water. My caption announces that I, sadly, did not make the 2024 Olympic diving team. mildly silly at best, kind of dumb at worst, but it fit the trend perfectly. You know what I mean? And this is what they do. They do share their life, and they kind of do it in a cute, funny. It's squirmy and gross. You can look it up. As of right now, their video has almost 20 million views. And in their work, because this is what they do, kind of try to change the way people perceive people with disability, that's a major success. I should be ecstatic, he says. I should be proud. I should be celebrating. But do you know what's making it tough for me to feel those things? The comments pouring into the video. Let me share some of the brutally ignorant and aggressively hateful things people felt compelled to say on this lighthearted and fun video created. And before I do this, guys, I will tell you, it is earth-shattering when you realize people are scared of your child based on their disability or it's unbelievable. Anyway, the very top comment says it's always important to wash your vegetable, referring to me as the vegetable. It has 97,000 plus likes.
Cow.
Out of the 20 million, it has 97,000 plus likes. This means almost 100,000 real humans on the earth agree with this insult.
Wow.
The next one with 79,000 likes says, I still struggle to see that they're in a relationship. 10,000 likes. One day she's not going to pull him back up, meaning she would just let him drown.
Oh.
Another, dating him is like doing charity work. You should just drown him. There are thousands more like these.
Holy cow.
Thousands. And here's what he says. I'm tired, guys. Tired of spending my entire life trying to get the world to accept me. Tired of dedicating my career to educating people about the true disabled experience, only to be reminded daily by hundreds of thousands of people that I'm still widely regarded as a vegetable that would be better off dead in their opinions. Tired of being denigrated and dismissed. The sheer volume of these horrific comments is staggering. So please, I beg you, don't tell me to simply ignore them and take the higher ground. These are real, actual people with family and jobs, with influence and votes, who are out there in the world every day harboring these absolutely disgusting ideas about disabled people. It's sickening. It's moments like these that I just want to throw in the towel. My wife and I have given the world thousands of hours authentic and personal content about our lives. We work passionately and tirelessly to show people that a disabled life is just as valid, worthy, and meaningful and joyous as any other. And yet hatred fills every comment section we create. I won't give up, though. It's too important to me, and the stakes are too high. Until disabled people are embraced by our world as equals, I'll be here sharing my disabled life that I so deeply enjoy and cherish, and hoping, maybe against reason, that it's making a difference. I do believe people can change their opinions. I believe people can grow. If you believe that too, and if you believe there's no place in this world for the kind of hatred we receive, it would mean everything to me if you'd share this post. Let's fight hate with love. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support you give us. You truly keep me going when I'm facing what feels like an overwhelming monster. And anyway, you can see them. They're adorable. They're an adorable couple. I mean, I am so following them.
Tell us the name of them again if anyone wants to.
Squirmy and Grubs
Squirmy and Grubs
is the thing. And I think, why do we do this radio show? And I realize a lot of times we're all over the roadmap. Why do we send 115 people? Why am I on here begging? Why are we having refreshment services, Pepsi and Niemanns Foods help us do this car show so we can raise money? Why are we having these 4 wonderful bands, that are coming on August 16th to put on the T21? Why do we do all this? Well, it's because we truly want to change the way people view it. I mean, I resonate with everything that he just said. And the problem is that no different, when you go to convention, there are moms, like that mom that was on that radio show where she was talking about how she struggled with that diagnosis. There are moms and dads who do. And part of the reason has to do, if your exposure has been, let's say you grew up in a family where they consider that man a vegetable, and that he would be better off dead than living the life that he clearly loves.
Then you would be devastated because you wouldn't know any different.
Yes.
Exactly. Instead of so you have to do. I think that's the hard part when you talk about you do those scholarship programs, but they get to bring their kids. Yes, because do you realize how many of the kids that when we first started Downcountry 15 years ago that were 9 or 10 and they went, do you realize how many of them have grown up to be therapists, have grown up to be teachers, have grown up to be doctors, or have grown up to have their own businesses where they're donating back to the community in ways that are unimaginable. I mean, like, that's the truth. That, to me, is how you change the way people...
That's the fruit of your efforts.
That is the fruit of the efforts. And that is why you do it, because you want to get rid of that. So, to be fair, you're right. Normal part of parenting is the discouragement. What's not normal is the fact, like, if Ryan posts a cute video, he's probably not... You know what I mean? Like, if you were to do the Olympic thing, you probably aren't going to get a ton of hate.
No.
Like... You know, like, everybody just laugh and go on, because I think actually the trend's kind of fun. I think they were kind of unique to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a whole side of it that, again, I'm not trying to get into like too far into the weeds of it, but this is also those are your typical Twitter warriors that will never ever say that in person. They'll never have the you-know-whats to actually say it in person. But they hide behind the keyboard and they decide that's okay.
There's an
now, again,
anonymity
doesn't make
in
it okay.
social media.
Doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it even, I think, worse. But I think it's ridiculous to me in whether it's this situation or whether it's whatever situation that you woke up one day and decided that is how I'm going to approach my day. Like, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. I wake up and I'm like, okay, how can I spread a little bit of joy today? It's literally like one of the things that I write. You know, God, dear God, because I write out like my prayers.
Right.
Do you guys do that? Do you write out your prayers?
Huh?
Okay, I started doing that after I get done with like my Bible and my devotional and everything. I mean, I pray in my head, but I also write out a daily prayer every single day, like a daily prayer. Like, you know, dear God, you know, help me to see the lessons and blessings in this day. You know, help me to share the light, you know, and love and joy. You know, thank you for forgiveness. You know what I mean? Or it varies every single day. It's a little bit of a different prayer, but you know, or help me, help me share the light. You
Prayer
know, help
journal.
me share. Yeah, it's just a really quick little blurb.
It's just, I don't know, and I love that. It's just, I don't know, when I hear stuff like that, it's really sickening. And obviously from what the comment was, but I think just in general, like, again, like, you chose that. Like, that is what you decided to say. Have we all made mistakes in our life? Yeah. Have we all made mistakes of things that we have said or done? No doubt.
Yeah, but that's intentional.
But that, you literally typed that out and said, yeah, this sounds about right for me to go ahead and post.
Yeah.
Like, to let the world see. And it's ridiculous to me, and this is why I have such a love-hate relationship with social media. Social media can be used in such a positive, fun way, but you have so many people that take advantage of it because none of them would say anything like that if they were sitting in front of you face to face.
Well, and I know there are some people out there who would say things like, well, you offend some people. Yeah, and you're right. To a certain extent, I get that. You know what I mean? What are you going to be at the end of the day? You're offended. You know what I mean? But I do think that it's kind of like, who did that quote on pornography? I don't know. I don't know how to define, but I know it when I see it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Yeah. Whatever. But what I will say is words do have power.
100%.
Words do have power, and I believe in the freedom of speech. You know, I don't want any restrictions on it whatsoever. But there's a reason why we debate things. There's a reason why we have communication. There's a reason why we do things. So I think you should always be cognizant that your words have power. I mean, my dad told me years ago. I don't remember how many years. I mean, long. I was little. I mean, little for the fact that I really remember that. And he said something, and it stuck with me, and it was that the words, you can't take them back. Once you say something, it's not able to be unheard.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about the doctor that Tony kicked out of the NICU. I mean, and you had a social worker, come in and basically say the same thing to you. I mean, everybody's words matters, and on social media, it can be better or worse. But to be that professional, not hiding behind a keyboard, and come in and say that because that's your perception of what's just happened because you don't know better. That's another fruit of your labor, because all these professionals that have been exposed to this, and all these kids who are becoming professionals that have grown up in this, they're going to change. And someday there's not going to be a doctor that walks in and says that to a family member.
No.
But at the same time, I know Ryan's way.
You're good.
But don't you think? I mean, we're in such a self-absorbed society, and I think all those nasty, nasty comments are just some people who are just so self-absorbed, think they're just all that and then some, that they have to share their opinion on something like that.
Yeah.
And easy as it would be for me, because it's not me that this is happening to. I mean, you just want to dismiss it because they're just. Sorry, stupid. I'm sorry, can I just say it? It's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's unkind, but it's so self-centered. I mean, it's just such a me way of looking at
So
things.
it's a Sunday, and I'm going to say this before we go on break. And if you're listening to the show and you don't agree, well, again, then you'll just be offended. I personally believe that while there has always been evil in the world and there's been things, I believe as you drive around this Sunday morning, I think you should look and see how many empty church parking lots there are. And I think you should see that there's a direct correlation between people who have voids in their life that they fill with the nastiness that allows them to be that keyboard warrior and spit out nasty in the world instead of trying to spread the light. And I think
Jesus should fill that gap.
I think there's there you go. We're done preaching. It's Sunday. Welcome to the Church of Down Country. Otherwise, for now, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the Practically Perfect, and the lovely Laura. Oh, Practically Perfect Penny. Apologies.
There it is.
And the lovely Laura. Anyway, this is the final segment of the show. So I want to go back with something because remember I said there were two parts.
I was just going to say that.
Okay, radical shift. Or maybe not radical shift. There was something you said. And I'm actually going to tell you, this is a little piece of advice, so you can learn from my mistakes, okay?
Okay.
So one of the things, and this is a very common parenting thing to say, we'll let the counselor, the psychologist weigh in on this after I say it. One of the common things that people have a tendency to say is like, oh, they were good for you. You know what I mean? Like, glad they're good for you. And you were...
okay. Wait, can I take everyone back in case I didn't hear the first segment?
Yep.
Okay, so Ryan was saying that if he can have the girls go with any of us and they behave well and do all the right things for us, then he has been good parenting. So so now you can repeat that sentence, but I wanted to put it back into some kind of context.
Yeah. So he said this, but and I remember I work with a lot of young parents, and he said, "Oh, good, I'm glad they're good for you because they're horrible for me." Right. Okay, so an adult,
and that is a good joke. Okay, I've used that joke.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so have I. I'm going to give you the Ella version of this because she's right. And I guarantee the counselor over here is going to say the same thing because there's a lot of different versions on this.
Okay.
Like, my kids were good, shocking. There's little things that we as parents, as grown-ups, said.
Oh, don't say
And so
I know where we're going.
We know that we're being sarcastic and we don't think our children are horrible. We know we don't truly think they're bad. Now, I'm not saying you don't get discouraged or that they aren't actually being bad and need to put them in. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. What I'm saying is, what our children hear truly, truly matters. And Ryan, I'm not casting stones here.
I know what you mean.
Because Ella is a teenager. Mm-hmm. And I actually did an eye roll the other day. This is probably about 2 months ago, which is part of the reason I'm going to say don't do this now. Yeah. Or don't do it. Just eliminate this. And I said something like, oh, teenage years are so fun. And she literally looked at me and she goes, would you please quit trash talking me? I'm like, what? And she's like, no, you tell everybody how difficult I am. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, honey, it's just normal teenage. I'm not, she's like, no. She's like, Mom, you tell everybody how horrible I am. I'm like, no, honey, I don't. Actually, I brag on you. I love you. But then all of a sudden, on a freaking loop, Ryan, I'm not kidding you. I was like, oh my God. And the weird thing is, when I work with young parents, I'll say things like, okay, hey, so just so you know, don't do exactly what I was just doing. Now, it was on an older, and yes, she understands. I thought she understood sarcasm. Sure. However, what I forget is she's a teenager. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, right, she can process sarcasm. And trust me, she is sarcastic. However, Oh my God, they hear that.
Yeah.
They hear that. So there used to be a commercial years ago, and they probably took it off of the air because it was too offensive, but it was a parent saying things like, you're bad, you're horrible, you're the, things you would not ever, you wouldn't, Penny wouldn't say it, a typical parent really wouldn't say to their child, you're bad, I'm horrible, I wish I never had you. You wouldn't say that. That's not, that to me falls outside of what you call quasi-normal parenting struggles. And that was the commercial years ago. However, we have to think really hard. Like, our littles hear every single thing coming out of our mouth. Mm-hmm. And so it matters. It matters, like, don't tell them you're ready to go until you're truly ready to go. Because I see young parents do this too. Okay, we're going to go. And then they don't go. Okay, we're going to go. You don't go. Okay, we're going to go. And they don't go.
And then you wonder why your kid's not ready to go. When
and then they aren't ready to go because you've given them, like, you weren't ready to go. Don't tell them you're ready to go until you're ready to go.
I'm guilty
and
of
then
that one.
Go.
But don't you think, I think to kind of follow up with what you're saying, I mean, kids and people, I don't care what age you are, you rise to any expectation that's put in front of you. And so innocently, accidentally, through sarcasm, you put that expectation that the teenage years are challenging. And so thankfully...
It's like self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. And we all do it. I mean, that's human behavior to rise to any challenge or any expectation. But if you make it a challenge and it's a positive thing, then guess what? They'll rise up to that. And so she's sitting there processing it as if, oh, mom's not approving of me. Even if she understands sarcasm, she still feels, it's still a feeling. It's still a feeling that she's
And you know what? Just like that social media
still
stuff we
valid.
were talking about, she might hear 100 praises out of your mouth, but what she's going to remember is the eye roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, and
not just her. Every
no,
kid.
it's every kid.
Yeah.
It's the kid, like, when you say things like, oh, good, glad they're good for you. Well,
Because I will
Well, I
say,
think
once
there's-
they're 20 and they start telling you things, you're like, what? What? And only Ella's doing it at her age, which is awesome.
Yes.
Because I'm like, what? When did I say that? When did I do that? And you have to really go back and think, and then you're like, oh, this is what I meant. I kind of remember that. But the way they perceive things is so different than how something might have been meant.
But at the same time, I think if somebody said something to me and it was funny sarcasm, I would still kind of go, oh, but was it really sarcasm? Or were they secretly serious? Or were they serious? Were they sarcastic? And I'm a grown adult. And I would
Right.
still sit there and wonder, wait a minute, what was that really meaning? So I think that sarcasm is a very, very, very delicate thing to use. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't use it all the time. I mean, I have to sometimes remind my husband, back off.
I
Don't
mean,
do it.
well, you
Back
know
it
what?
off.
I mean, with all it's in my family. I don't mean so wrong. Like, you've met my husband, all of you. I mean, Tony's a little poop. You know what I mean? Like, he'll say something and then he means something totally opposite. So, like, I'll whip and part of the reason he does it is because he knows he's going to get a rise out of me. Anyway, I just think when it comes to kids, like, we do have to be probably more careful on an abundance of caution because, to your point, Laura, a lot of times we don't even realize that we are influencing how they see themselves. And I mean, I've had kids in school who've said, I'm just bad. Well, why do you think you're bad? My mom and dad tell me, and I'm like, like, and I'm like, I know, and a lot of times I live in a small community. I know the mom and dad, and I know they don't think they're actually bad. So we don't understand. Words do, again, the whole show, words do matter. They matter. They matter greatly. And so just, I guess, be cognizant of those things.
My biggest thing that I've struggled with more recently is, one, I know I'm a pushover, but number two is, like, obviously we discipline in our own way. We're trying to set the boundaries, and again, we always also remind ourselves they are 3, so it's going to take a little bit longer. You just have to reinforce. But I find it, and I know they've picked up on it, but it kind of goes back to what you're saying, and again, it's the reassurance. So, like, if, say, one of my twins does something that they're not supposed to, and I get stern, like, you can't do that. I am such an upbeat guy, and I've always been fun dad, that it's taken them aback, and they start crying. And it makes me feel bad because I'm like, well, I didn't mean to make you cry.
Oh, no, that's where I know you're only a little bit in. Once you get to the point when they cry, it doesn't bother you anymore.
Right.
Give me your stars and stripes.
But it gets me because they're my girls, they're my princesses, all this, all this stuff floods.
Oh my God, Tony Doherty.
Oh my God. So
Help
what
me.
I will do is I'll consult them and be like, look, honey, daddy loves you, but you have to do this. You can't do this or what. And I try to explain it, but I always feel like I lead it with, okay, I love you. And I don't know. I struggle with that.
I know, but
I'm in
that's
love
a
with
you
your
thing.
wife right now,
That's a
Ryan.
you
That's
thing.
what I'm going to tell you. Ryan, I'm going to tell you I'm in love with your wife. And here's the reason why I'm going to say I'm in love with your wife. I'm in love with his wife because I now know that she lives with the same stuff that I have to live with, and it's not fair. I'm here to tell you. So Tony Doherty, when it comes to his girls, you're right. They are his princesses.
Oh, yeah.
The princesses. And when things go wrong, he talks to them and he has these lovely little conversations. No, he doesn't do that with his wife, but with the girls, he's like, oh, my little princesses. And now with Elliot, he's like, straighten up. All right. That's not how we do things in this household. I'm like, what is the difference? The girls, you're like, oh, sweet little princess. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's totally sexist. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, you go home tonight and you tell the wife, Kate Doherty feels your pain on every level because that makes she and I, like that makes us the bad guys because the princess thing doesn't work on us because we're the original princess.
I know.
Oh.
Okay, Kate. But it is. I'm trying to find that. And again, this is totally new territory for me. I'm a first-time parent. This is young and dumb. I mean, I don't.
And you jumped in both feet.
Well, that too. But like, just in general, I think it's funny because none of us are perfect. And
They don't come with an instruction manual.
No. But again, and you've said this before, your kids are different from mine. Mine are different from yours and all this other stuff of how exactly it's going to work.
And
with
they're
your
different
kids,
from
their
each
kids,
other.
whatever.
Your
Yeah.
two
And
are different from each
it's
other.
interesting because gentle parenting is one of the new whatever
Big time,
trends or
yeah.
whatever. However, some children are not meant to be gentle parented. Some children are feral, and so every single child. Well, it can
Actually,
be within,
most kids are feral.
well, I mean,
Wow,
within one family, you may have
Yep.
one that you need to do this, and another.
That's what I
that
meant
you
by the
do
different.
this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
it is wildly true. I mean, not every. I have one friend, God love her. God love her. She's really trying this gentle parenting thing. And obviously, if you're listening to the show, I'm not a gentle parent. I apologize profusely, but I'm not. It's a great
wasn't.
theory, and if there are some children that do respond very well to that. I did not birth those types. However, I watch this sweet friend. And God, she tries to gentle parent, and she does really well. However, her child is feral, and so it is hysterical because it's not working out real well.
Trying your darndest. We feel for you. I don't know. I just my thing too is and I would say we do the quote unquote gentle parenting. I don't know.
I don't even honestly know what that means because I'm not in the education system and mine aren't
What
little
does it
anymore.
mean?
Penny,
Because I
there
hear
you
it
go.
all the time.
Penny's rolling her eyes. This
Yeah.
is good. I love it.
My whole thing is how we do it is
Lots of words.
I don't
Yes, lots of psychology.
I
Sometimes
don't
you just need help.
I
with
raise
it.
my voice and you get stern because that's just normal. I also know I can be very loud, so it's also been kind of a cognizant thing for me that I don't want to be like screaming at them because that doesn't really prove the point. It's finding that balance. We do like the timeouts. We'll take something away
Well,
if
I
you're
did
not
that, and
listening.
I did that. Did
No,
I?
that's
that-
not gen-
here's the
that's-
deal. Gentle
yeah.
parenting, and Penny, you correct me. There's a lot. It's an explaining everything
And rationalizing.
and the feels and
every-
how
the
we-
feels.
and
are-
We do a little of that.
It's a
not
lot
ton.
of that.
not too much.
However, when kids are in the trunk, i.e., like when they're in full blown, they're in the trunk. Like their brain stems are in fight or flight. Like
Yes,
that's where they
yes,
are.
yes.
You cannot rationalize when somebody's in that trunk. And so, for me, like I'm fine with explaining to a child who is old enough to process why we're doing what we're doing. Key there is like able to process. However, a lot of times, like when it comes to things, it's like, no. Like, it's a simple no. I don't need to explain why I said no, because I'm the alpha in this situation.
Yes.
And so now, 30 minutes from now, if the kid wants to know why that was a no, okay, we can have a conversation about it.
Right.
But the no has to be respected in the moment. And the explanation to me can come later, or the conversation can come later. And I see a lot of people who are following kind of and they're trying to rationalize with a child who is either hungry or tired or mid-tantrum or whatever. And we just need to put the kiddo to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I read somewhere once to let your child just throw the tantrum in the middle of the floor and just stand there and watch him, and the child would be embarrassed and eventually give up or whatever. So I did that with my oldest in a cute little decorator store in town that like had little gifties and whatnot, and the woman comes up to me, the proprietor, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I read this somewhere. I'm just letting him do this."
It's true. It's true.
And she was like, "I don't think it's going to work." I'm like, "Yeah, I think we should just go home."
But okay, can I just say it and then we'll be done? Just
Meaning you
because
just got to try a few things.
I think exactly if your little human is in the middle of the floor throwing a fit, okay. I think the concept's there, let him do it. But then also it's like your little humans are upset and they're crying. What we're missing is, yes, the feelings are important, people, but we got to help them to manage those feelings. So the kiddo's disappointed, so she's crying. Has nothing to do with the fact if you love her, you do not love her.
Right.
So don't make that the issue. Sorry, I'm going to get off my little therapist tangent
No,
here.
stay on it. I like it. Keep going.
It don't make it about love, because then she's going to assume it's about love. It has nothing to do with love, because you love your children regardless if you're telling them to knock it off or if you're telling them that
You
they're
love
the
them
best thing
more
on
when
the
you tell them to
planet.
knock it off.
Yeah, and so if she's upset, help her to regulate those emotions.
Yeah.
We don't have to over-explain emotions. We just need to help them to feel better, and that could go a whole nother hour. I could talk about that, but you help them with emotions. Don't make it about you and your insecurity that she's now upset. And then you had the right idea, but instead of just letting him sit there and throw the fit, you like help him to understand, okay, now you're freaking disappointed, and I'm sorry you're upset, but this is not okay. We're going to take you out to the car, and then you're going to figure out how to calm yourself down, versus just let it be feral. You can't let him be feral. You got to teach him how not to be feral, but yet you can still tap into the emotions. I think the whole thing of like, this soft parenting and stuff like that, as long as you're teaching them something, that's okay. But you still have to understand, no means no. I don't care if you understand now. No means no. Get up, get over yourself, and get going. Sorry.
Drop that mic.
Boom.
Boom.
And if you're listening to the show, since that's so definitive, come to the car show August 1st, period, 4 o'clock. Be there, be square. Goodwill, food, fun, and donation. Otherwise, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag
Welcome to
everything.
Penny as a Therapist.
Have a blessed Sunday.